Hare Krishna. Welcome back, everyone. We are resuming this session, live session on Zoom, but it is a new video where we will start chapter 17 today. Okay, so as usual, we will start with Mangalacharan prayers. So I will share my screen and we will start. What happened? Veda base, Bhagavad Gita, introduction, and Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitanscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, so we will start with chapter 17. All right, let me open my notes for chapter 17. Okay, great. So, chapter 17, the title is Divisions of Faith. So, I will give a quick overview of what is there in chapter 17. So, chapter 16 talked in detail about divine plus demoniac nature or natures. Okay. And what we got from chapter 16, so I'll just kind of tell you the subtle difference between these two. In chapter 16, we got a vivid description of primarily demoniac nature. Okay. What does demoniac nature constitute? How does a demon think? How does he act? So that we can see what we may be doing that is demon-like. Okay. So it was a very sort of a binary, you can say, black and white, divine, demoniac. So it was a very black and white kind of a contrast. And the purpose was to show that how the demoniac nature is so destructive to our soul. Lord Krishna even goes on to say that the soul is destroyed in the demoniac nature, even though in chapter 2 he said that the soul is never destroyed. Now, of course, the soul is never destroyed, but that is just showing the gravity of the situation if one is in a demoniac nature, which means that basically it is on the far right. It is at one end of the spectrum. So what chapter 16 was basically showing, it was showing the two ends of the spectrum. Okay. Two ends of the spectrum. Chapter 17 will fill the gap. It will show a wider range. Okay. The sort of the the grade, the in between portion. Okay, so it will talk about the mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. And it will, so it gave us, so chapter 16 gave us a vivid description. That was one thing. Chapter 17 will give us the various qualities of people in mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance, which is sattva, rajas, and tamas. Okay, so basically it gives us a more of a sort of a various characteristics and qualities of the in-between people. A vivid description will not be there, but the qualities will be there, just like in the first 5 or 6 verses of the 16th chapter. The first 3 verses had list of 26 qualities of divine nature, and the next verse had a list of 6 qualities of demoniac nature. Just fat, just all the qualities like that. In the same way, chapter 17 will do it for the middle portion of the spectrum. Is it clear what I'm saying? So chapter 17 is like the first 4 or 5 verses of chapter 16, except that it is talking about the in-between. Okay, not completely divine and completely demoniac. Okay. Now, because it is giving these, now most of the people are neither fully divine or fully demoniac. I am definitely, not, I cannot say, I may be more closer to more demoniac, but I cannot say I'm fully demoniac either. There may be 1 or 2 good qualities in me. And of course, there are a lot of, so most of the people are not fully divine and fully demoniac. So what is the benefit? How to use chapter 17 in our life? That's the question. So the question is how to use or apply chapter 17 in our life. Okay, that is the question. And the answer is several things. One is, since we get a lot of these qualities or characteristics of various modes, mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance, we can treat it as a diagnostic test. We can say self-diagnostic test. So if you go to a doctor first time, they may give you a self-evaluation, and then they will go through a treatment plan. I am going through some physical therapy for my neck and upper back. So I remember when I first went to the physical therapist, he gave me a long list of questions which I had to fill up. And every month he gives me the same one to see. I fill it up again, and then probably in their computer, they will, map my responses and see if I'm progressing, making progress or not. So the first time when he asked me to fill up, where is the pain? How much is the pain? Does the pain increase if I sit down, if I stand up? I don't even remember. There were all these questions. That is like a first time self-diagnostic test. So you can use it. You can use Bhagavad Gita chapter 17 to see what are the various things, which qualities fit me the most. And you can see, am I a person in the mode of goodness? Am I in the mode of passion? And it may be like a combination. So you can see, in this aspect of my life, I am in the mode of passion. In this aspect of my life, I'm more in the mode of goodness. So like that, you can do a self-evaluation, and it will tell you which are the areas which you should improve, which you should work on in your life. So that is point number 1. Then the other use or the application is to, like I said, move from tamas to rajas to sattva. So we should move in this direction wherever we are, in whichever area. Now here we will talk about 4 specific areas. There's a 5th area. Who do we worship? And then foods, sacrifices, austerities. And who can tell me the last one? Bhakti Shastri students? Last one. FSA?
Charity. Prabhuji.
Charity. Very nice. C. So FSAC. All the students, I have made them, what you call, ratta lagwa diya. Kya bolte hain usse? Memorized them, this FSAC. So foods, sacrifices, austerities, charity, and the kind of worship. So the whole chapter is divided into these 5 areas, and you can see in this area I do this, in this area I do this, and move from tamas to sattva. Okay, so what you can do, you should also know where you are and what is the destination, where do I need to be, so you can move from A to B. Another aspect which is very, very important, so I will put it in red color. So those 2 are, I should have put this first, because the most important we put it first. This one is the most important. So forget everything I told you. This is the time to pay attention. Okay, ting, 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 alarm bells. If you are sleeping, if you are distracted, please pay attention now. This is probably the most important part of today's class. Are you getting it? Everybody paying attention? Okay, very nice. So both chapter 16 and chapter 17. One of the very important reasons, not reasons, of application of chapter 16 and 17, which is to basically giving us a description of this spectrum. Okay, from here all the way to here. It's telling us the various natures of people that exist. Demoniac people, or tamasic people, or rajasic people, or sattvic people, or devotees, is to give us the discrimination to choose our what? Fill in the blank. Let me see who can fill in the blank.
Nature.
You cannot
Our
choose
state. Our state.
Path.
Where we are.
Our action.
Position. Our
Mode.
position.
Mode of nature.
Our action.
Choose our spiritual path.
Our destination.
Action. Journey or destination.
Our action.
Very
Association.
important.
Our condition. That's all.
Very important. Please look at the screen, Mataji. To choose our association. So this is the reason. So it is not about being judgmental. Oh, this person is tamasic. No, not like that. But still, it would be foolish to say, oh, everybody is a devotee, is a pure devotee. I will go and hug everyone, spend hours of time with them, because everybody is a spirit soul. Everybody is a great devotee. Then you are a fool if you think like that. So you should not judge people, but yet at the same time, you should judge people. But this judgment is not to pass a judgment on them. Please mark my words. You're not passing any judgment on anyone, but you are simply using the knowledge that you are getting in these chapters to select or to choose your association to protect yourself and to advance your bhajan, to advance your bhakti. So you cannot say that, oh, I am not judgmental. Everybody is a pure devotee. Let me go and spend 2 hours with him. So what if he's sitting in a nightclub or in a bar? He's a spirit soul. I will go and spend 2 hours with him. No, that is foolish. That is completely foolish. So you have to apply your judgment, not to pass judgment on them, not to declare in public, not to put it on your Facebook. Oh, I saw this person in the nightclub. Here is a photo of him in the nightclub or in the bar. Look what a bad person he is. Not like that, not to advertise to the world, but for your own self. Oh, I don't want to associate with this person. So like that. Are you following? So
Prabhuji, before association, we have to fix ourselves where we are.
we have to fix where we are means what? You must assess yourself, definitely. But to go somewhere, to get somewhere, which is what you probably mean by fix ourselves, you want to go from point A to point B in your own consciousness. Let me finish. Association is a huge component of that. By associating with devotees, you can become a devotee. By associating with more advanced devotees, even if you're already a devotee, you can become a more advanced devotee. Just like the very common example given in Shastra is that a hot iron rod can induce fire in a haystack or in another rod of iron. So if you want to make one rod of iron hot, touch it with another hot rod of iron. That is the power of association. And that is also the number one do in all the lists. It is sadhu sangha. Now, how do you know who is a sadhu? So these 2 chapters, again, I will go here, tell us about this whole spectrum. So you can see where the person is, and you may not always possible to find a person who is like this or a Shuddha devotee, pure devotee. Now, Srila Prabhupada was a pure devotee. There may be others, but how much association physically you can get from Srila Prabhupada? He would be there in one city for 2 days. And that too, you cannot be there with him for more than 20 minutes, let's say. Of course, you can listen to his tapes or audio and books. All that association counts, definitely. But the point is that there may be others. If you are here, you can associate with a person who is here and make advancement. So always try to find people who are more
higher.
Sorry.
Who are higher than you.
Yeah, who are higher than you, more advanced than you, and take their association. So how do you know who is like that? And that is what chapter 16 and 17 tell us very nicely. It gives us the knowledge to discriminate or to enable us to choose our association. Very, very important. Very, very, very important point. Okay. Okay. So the important part is over. So
Thank you, Prabhu.
Now you can become relaxed. And the next part that is there is, now that we have studied the 16th chapter, which emphasizes Shastra, the last 2 verses, and also the last verse starts with Tasmat. Okay. So therefore, or Tasmat, Shastram Pramanam te Karya Akarya Vyavasthito. So all this discrimination and all these things come or should or must come from Shastra. And Bhagavad Gita is our primary Shastra. Therefore, we must use these points. So many points will be given in the 17th chapter. We must use these points. We must not look, oh, he looks like a very nice person to me. Oh, my Chachaji was a nice person and he used to do that. This person does this, so he must also be nice. So, that maybe we may be getting it wrong. Our formula may be inaccurate. Just because my Chachaji was a nice person and he did something doesn't mean anybody who does the same thing is a nice person. Our formula may be faulty. It may apply in one case, it may not apply in another case. Okay. So the formula which applies in all cases comes from Shastra. Shastra is the bona fide authoritative provider of these laws of discrimination, or these rules of discrimination, or rules of various categories, various buckets of rajas, of tamas, rajas, and sattva. So it must come from Shastra, which is why Lord Krishna is mentioning in chapter 17. Okay. So those points I covered. Let us see what else is there. Now let us go to 17.1. Oops. So kindly mute. So 17.1 starts with Arjuna's question. Arjuna asks a very important question, and you also must ask this question. And I think if I can kind of correlate what Niru Mataji asked, the question about the rituals and all those kind of detailed steps is kind of related to this question in larger question that Arjuna is asking. So please pay careful attention to this question. And the rest of the 17th chapter will be an answer to this question by Lord Krishna. So very important question by Arjuna. So Arjuna uvacha ye shastra vidhim utsrijya yajante shraddhayanvitah tesham nishtha tu ka Krishna sattvam aho rajastamaha. So ye shastra vidhim utsrijya. Remember, the first line is the same thing. First line, Lord Krishna said, yo shastra vidhim utsrijya, or what was that thing? Yah shastra vidhim utsrijya, not yo, yah. That those who give up shastra. So Arjuna is picking up the same line of thought, that those who shastra vidhim give up the shastra, the authority of the shastra. Yajante shraddhayanvitah, but yajante means doing various types of activities. It is worship, but worship can be in various types. One can say my work is worship, or wherever you are fully engaged in your life, full engagement, your top priorities in your life. So ye shastra vidhim utsrijya yajante shraddhayanvitah. So but they are still full of shraddha. They are still doing it, whatever they are doing, with lot of dedication, with lot of faith and commitment and conviction. All those are similar words for shraddha. Tesham nishtha tu ka Krishna. What kind of faith would you call they have? What kind of faith, my dear Krishna, they have? Nishtha means their faith, their conviction, their beliefs. What is their belief system? Sattvam aho rajas tamaha. Are they in sattva, rajas, or tama? That is Arjuna's question. Are you following? So the first two lines are important. Please try to understand, and I'm going to spend the next 10 minutes, which is what is left today, to explain this question. And then hopefully you will be able to see that you are having the same question. That is the point. Try to see how much of Arjuna's question is your question. Then you will get value from 17th chapter. If you see that, yes, this is my question also, then you will say, aha, let me hear what Lord Krishna has to say as an answer. And I have found in my life, that is a question I have also. So let me explain. So what is being said here is that, please try to understand, I'm taking it a little slowly. There are people who are doing whatever they are doing, some activity with lot of commitment, conviction, dedication, determination, etc. So that is the part of yajante shraddhayanvitah. They are doing with lot of shraddha, but that shraddha is not in Shastra. It is a non-Shastric shraddha. So there are people who very dedicatedly do their activity But in a non-shastric process, or in or with or via whatever, they don't follow the shastric process, they follow some other non-shastric process. So what does non-shastric mean here, or what could it mean? It is definitely not shastric. So we cannot include anything shastric
Material.
in this.
Material aspect.
Material, so we can say, maybe, let's put that way, materially motivated. Okay. Where could you get this from? So you can get this from your leaders, material leaders, whoever tell, do this, do that. Stephen Covey, Steve Jobs, I keep taking those examples, or whoever, oh, they are saying, let's do this. They are saying, let's do this. So you could get it from those kind of places, materially motivated, or from leaders, or from past culture or traditions. Oh, this is our culture. We have been doing this all the time. Okay. So some may say that, oh, we will, do a vrata on Amavasya, not on Ekadashi. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, for example, it is said that, you must do Ekadashi vrat. Very nice. It's recommended as per Shastra. If you have to do a vrat, do it on Ekadashi. Somebody will say, no, I don't do on Ekadashi. I will do on Amavasya. So that is non-shastric. Why you want to do it? Because we have been doing it in our culture, in our tradition. It is like that. I'm just making up an example, but it could be something like that. Okay. Or from family members. Or it could be self-manufactured. Or it could be some modern process. Some kind of a modern process, corporate culture, whatever it may be. We do it this way, this, that, whatever it may be. So non-shastric, and people follow it very strongly with a lot of commitment, conviction, and dedication. So Arjuna is asking, where is that coming from and what happens to such people? So that is the question. So so what Arjuna is asking, so if you follow the shastric process, it will definitely take you from wherever you are, tamas to rajas to sattva. And then if you further follow the shastric process, it will take you to guna atita. These are the three gunas also, if you see. It will make you guna atita, which we studied in chapter 14. So it will take you to transcendence or spiritual level or bhakti, right? But if you follow some of these non-shastric way, who knows where it will take you? Who knows? And in some cases, it could take you backward also. I will give you a very strong example that I personally face every day. It could take you from, for example, sattva or to gunatita to rajas. A very, very strong example is modern corporate culture. Corporate culture is all based on so-called meritocracy. But in meritocracy, it is also a sort of a curve, a hidden curve is there. In, most companies, there are ratings, 5-point rating, did not meet expectation or failed or something, less than expected, meets, exceeds, and excel. Everybody, the whole culture is about, somehow getting ahead of the other. Within your team members itself, they rank you. In how many people who work in corporate culture, just by raising your hand, can you tell me it is familiar? See, so many people are raising their hands. So if you are a person who is reading Bhagavad Gita, who is a, or even not even a spiritual person, but a mode of goodness person, where you know that, or your value system dictates that why should I downplay this person? But you are forced to downplay the other person. You are forced to sometimes, speak lies or not speak the whole truth. All those things is forced upon you. And in today's modern thing, that's considered a good thing. You get rewards, you get promotions, you get titles, upadhis, you get so much this thing. So that kind of thing is taking you backwards. Certainly it is taking you backwards. A sattvic person, very hard to make progress in modern corporate culture. Very hard to make progress. Do you agree? Now, by Krishna's mercy, it may be possible. Maybe by being a sattvic person, maybe you will come up with some, if you are in some kind of a corporation where, some innovation has to be there. You did some innovation which became super successful, they might give you promotion, because Lord Krishna said, he's a great, very nice devotee. And, his little work got magnified so much. By Krishna's grace, you could get a lot of recognition, even though you didn't work for it. It may happen, but generally, even if it is a sattvic person, he's forced to come to Rajas. That is such a, what can I say? क्या बोलेंगे उसे? Downside or such a bad aspect of modern culture, that it is promoting rajasic nature. Okay, and there is no reward for being sattvic, no reward. So that is the example, and that is obviously non-shastric. Corporate culture is not coming from any shastra at all. I see hand raised. I will come to it in just 1 second. I just want to finish the chain of thought. Okay. So there may be other people. And what is the goal of these people, the corporate people? Just as I'm picking on that example, the goal is what? The goal is the same. Sukham, Siddhim, may not be Param Gatim. They don't even know what is Param Gatim, but they define Param Gatim as their own definition of Param Gatim. So we can say Param Gatim also. I want to become the CEO. That is Param Gatim for them. There were public revelations by past CEOs of my company. They revealed publicly. There was one time the CEO left and they had to select a new CEO. There were 3 candidates or something. 2 candidates publicly revealed how I was trying to compete against the other person. So there was this, they told publicly. So because they considered becoming the CEO is my life goal of my life. That is Param Gatim. But otherwise, if you see Sukham, Siddhim, so the goal is the same as in Bhagavad Gita, but the process is non-shastric. There are many people like this. And Arjunas, and they work very hard for it. With lot of dedication, they work. So this thing about Yajante Shraddhayanvitaha applies to them. But it is non-shastric and the goal is the same. What happens to such people? That is the question. Now, I hope with this explanation, you can begin to find yourself in this situation, or even as devotees. So let me focus on this. I know it is 8 o'clock, so we will stop in a few minutes after taking some questions. Self-manufactured. Let me touch on that point. As devotees, so I talked about corporate culture or non-devotee who have nothing to do with anything that is Bhagavad Gita related. But let's talk about devotees. Sometimes even the devotees who are at least trying to make progress may find the process of bhakti a little hard. Oh, I have to chant 16 rounds. Or at least, or let us say whatever, not 16 rounds, I won't pressure anyone. Let us say you gave a personal commitment to yourself. You did a sankalpa. I will chant 4 rounds every day of japa, which means it is another way of saying it's not about round or number. I hate that concept of numberism, but it is about saying that 30 minutes, it takes about 25 to 30 minutes to do 4 rounds. Basically, you are saying 30 minutes of my time I will take out to focus nicely on Krishna. That is what you are saying. After some time, it becomes hard, let us say. Then you will say, you know what? Today I had a very long day at work. So Krishna realizes, I'm donating money also to Krishna, and I'm working hard so I can donate money. Ultimately, I'm working for Krishna. So today I will cancel my for half an hour quota I have done by working. You can come up with a justification like that. Now, maybe there is value in the justification. Yes, you are donating the money, but you can see there is some aspect of self-manufacturing there. Can you see? Or you can say, oh, I will not do drinking. But if it's an office party, I cannot be seen as this religious person who I used to drink. Now I have given up because I'm a devotee. I have come in association of devotees. I'm reading Bhagavad Gita. I have given up drinking, but I will make an exception. I actually met such a person. Okay. In office gatherings, I will drink. Okay. Maybe that, and that's better than drinking every day. Okay. So it is like the Vedas, it is regulated sense gratification, but still you made a promise and the Shastra says no drinking, but you are self-manufacturing. Are you following? So even in devotee situations, this thing can creep in. Okay. So we take the Shastra as the starting point, but then we begin to twist and turn, tod marod, according to our own likes and our own swabhava. This swabhava or our nature will come in very strongly in the next few verses, according to our swabhava. So our swabhava may be rajasic. Oh, how can I, not be part of that kind of office club? If I'm not part of the club, I will not get promotion. Next time they will think, oh, he's a, spiritual guy. Why do we need to promote him? I don't want to be seen like that. So that is that rajasic nature. And so I will drink in office parties. I will drink outside. I will not drink. So again, that swabhava may be the one that is propelling this twisting of the Shastra or the principles of the Shastra. So it may be possible that somebody is doing that. Okay. So yeah, I think I have spoken enough. Yeah. So all these may be situations, and Arjuna's question is what happens and what drives this kind of alteration of Shastric principles or deviation from Shastra, but still doing the activity with commitment. So I hope you have followed the chain of thought of Arjuna's question. All right. Okay, we can take questions now. So quick questions we can take. First, we will go to Nitin Prabhu, who has a question, I think. And then Subhash Prabhu, I see you raising your hand in video.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, how about, when we see in corporate, there are, people who are doing bad things, like really mean things. So as devotee, should we just let it pass that, okay, somebody will take care of it? Or is it okay to raise a voice? There are a lot of channels in where you can, without, getting exposed yourself, you can raise the voice. And it's not just for you, it's for, people around you and with larger community, not just you. So, or should we just leave it that, it's their karma and they will, get whatever they want? So,
nice question. Very nice question. So two things. First of all, I will answer it as a devotee from a devotee angle. Okay. So you are not, as a devotee, it's not your job to clean up the world. Okay, your job is to clean up yourself. So tell on them, report. Yeah, I mean, if somebody is doing really something illegal, every corporate company has some channels to report, and if not, then at least the police is there. You can go report over there. So that you can do if you see something illegal happening. But if it is about doing mean things, which are kind of in the domain of legal, bad mouthing, backbiting, promising something and doing something else, saying something, doing something. So all these things are definitely, they happen in our lives. And I have a beautiful verse that I have I will just share with you, read it out. It is in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Eastern Ocean, Sadhan Bhakti, which is the second, you can say, the chapter or the second wave, 114th verse. I will read it out to you. I don't have it in front of me, so to say, in a easy way to share, but it's a beautiful verse, and you should try to live your life according to that verse. And it goes something like this. Please remember it. If avalabdhe va vinashte va bhaksha achhadan sadhane avikla matir bhutva harim eva dhiya smarit. So what is the meaning of this? So I will write down the number of this verse here, and you can Google it. Yeah, I'm beginning to share. Not here. Yeah, actually it is there in, can you do a Veda-based search for Avalabdhe Va? It is in 11th canto. It is mentioned in one of the purports. Just do a Veda-based search on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Avalabdhe Va. So this is in Nectar of Devotion or Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.114. Okay, Mila? Okay, and so let me show that, and it's a very, very, I'm trying myself to apply that in various areas of my life where I am facing trouble. So let me know as soon as you find it. Okay. Avalabdhe. Let me do it myself here. Even I did not. Yep. So 11 to 49. So let me show you. Library, Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 2 and 49. In the purport, it is there. Yeah. So, alabdhe va vinashte va bhakshya achhadana sadhane aviklava matir bhutva harim eva dhiya smarit. So what it means is that if you are expecting something and alabdhe, you couldn't get it, or vinashte, if you got it but it was lost or destroyed somehow, whatever, basically you don't have it. Bhakshya achhadana sadhane, just bhakshya means to use or consume. Achhadana sadhane, whatever you get, just be happy with that. Just be happy with that. aviklava matir bhutva, without wavering your intelligence. Mati means intelligence. With fixed intelligence, harim eva dhiya smare. Focus your mind on Hari. Just remember Lord Krishna. This is the highest principle of bhakti. Don't worry about, yes, you should do your activity. So there is, it's not that it is giving up of activity completely. Okay. Otherwise, there will not even be avalabdhe or vinashte. It won't even exist. So yes, you go and do your activity. Whatever result comes or it doesn't come according to expectation, below your expectation, you do something for somebody, he doesn't reciprocate, they don't, show the, you don't get something that you were hoping to get, does not matter. You do it. And the main purpose of your life should be Harim Smarit. Focus on that. That is a 100% devotional bhakti lifestyle. Yes, it requires tolerance. It requires detachment from I want this, I want that, I want that. But if your mind is so much in those things, where is the space left in the mind for Krishna? So this way you can create the space in your mind for Krishna. So does that help answer the question, Nitin Prabhu?
Certainly, Prabhuji. Thanks for.
It is a little high standard, but
Yes.
that is where we want to get.
Sure,
There is
Prabhuji.
no other. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Subhash Prabhu, did you have a question or it got answered?
Yeah, I have little sharing. One is that this is Arjuna's question starting today, and my feeling is that we are in a different degrees. We are all Arjuna. We have these questions all the time popping up. What should I do? What should I do? And all the time at any given point of time, we are a combination of sattva, rajas and tamas. हमारे अंदर रहते ही है. कभी किसी मोमेंट पे सत्व बढ़ जाता है, रजस बढ़ जाता है, तमस बढ़ जाता है. You gave example of the corporate culture, and like they call it a rat race kind of thing. You are injected with the kind of I have to do better than the other person. I have to competition. It is there all the time, and almost 99.9% corporates are in that.
100% maybe.
It's not rat race. I call it rut race. Basically, it's a rut. Basically. But I have an example of my mentor. I mean, he has been my mentor in corporate basically. I can share the name of the person. He's doing exceedingly well, Ajay Piramal, and I was with him for 9.5 years in the beginning. He has a different style of corporate governance.
Just to make it brief, Prabhuji, So like, for example, I'll just, maybe we can share afterwards. There is one more hand raised or that was lowered. Usha Mataji. But
he just shifted his corporate culture governance to Krishna consciousness.
Very nice. Very nice. Wonderful.
And the results are fantastic. The progress was fantastic in Paramarpur.
Okay. Very nice.
Thank you very much.
Now, what I was going to say is like little bit, I don't know much, but whatever little I have heard about Narayan Murthy, Infosys, at least in the media, what I have heard, I have no, by the way, first-hand knowledge. And media can be manipulated, as we all know. But at least what I have heard is that his principles were a little bit more of goodness based.
Yes.
Rather than, cutthroat.
There's another example.
And, yeah. So there are people like that. And if that is all true, then yes, it is possible.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did anybody have any question? Nitin Prabhu, did you have another question or you have lowered your hand?
No, I lowered my hand. Actually, maybe if I add, the context was, when we read the first chapter, right, where Krishna is actually saying Arjun to go and fight. But certainly we are not at that Arjun level. So that's where more confusion was coming, that, in initial chapters, the focus is go and take care of the bad people, but certainly we are not there. So we should not think like what instructions Krishna was giving to Arjuna.
Yeah.
So that was the context which confused me. Yeah.
So yeah, so Arjuna was given a directive by Krishna to fight the battle, and therefore he was fighting. So his fighting the war was an act of bhakti. After hearing the Bhagavad Gita, his act of fighting the war was not a kshatriya action. It became an action of 100% bhakti, because he even says, Karishye vachanam tava. I will do what you say. That is bhakti. Then if Krishna says, fight with this person, that is bhakti. Okay. And Krishna has given us also certain instructions. Rupa Goswami has given us do's and don'ts. Nowhere it is written, go fight with another person as one of the 10 items of bhakti, to fight with anybody else. So we must take that. So when Arjuna is fighting, we need to realize it is an act of bhakti. Yes, Manoj Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare Krishna,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Quick question. So I'm not sure if my understanding is right. So we talked about the corporate world. So is being ambitious to be CEO is against shastra? Is it non-shastric to be ambitious to be CEO of a company?
At the highest level, if being CEO and being passionate about it, and if it is displacing your Hari Smarana, then yes, it is not aligned with bhakti. But if today you are 100% focused on corporate or your work life, 100%, and you have started spending 2 hours every day on bhakti, and remaining 22 hours, maybe you are sleeping for 8 hours and whatever else you are doing, but at least you started taking out 2 hours for Krishna. That is a huge progress. Remaining time, yes, you can, what if your job needs you to do competitive work, don't do anything which will be illegal. First of all, don't do something then which is tamasic. Don't do something which is as much as possible rajasic. Try to be in mode of goodness. The progress may be slower in your career, but you will survive. But if you really want to get ahead and really be the first person to be there, or sort of at a fast pace, you have to be more rajasic. Typically, like Prabhuji was saying, 99%. Then you have to choose. But at least you can, to the extent you are filling your mind with this whole rajasic consciousness, to that extent, Krishna is not there. There is limited space in the mind. You have to fill it up according to your choices. Okay, just like in your stomach, there is limited space. You can fill it up with alcohol, or you can fill it up with nice, prasad. So, but there is limited space. You cannot say, I will have 3 bottles of alcohol and then I will have 5, plates of prasad. Your stomach will not, there's no space. Similarly, in the mind, you cannot say that. To the extent you are filling it up with one thing, to that extent, the space is not available for Krishna. That is your choice as to where you draw the line.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you.
Yes. So short answer is yes, it is counterproductive. But that's the hard truth.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. If nothing else, I don't see any other questions. We will stop here. Sorry for extending, but nice Q&A session. So thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Thank
Hare
you,